Hi, in this tutorial I am going to create a decorative mirror. I am using the unit setup of the millimeter, both for the system unit setup and the display unit scale as a millimeter. So I start with a plan, creating a plan. Because I'm using millimeter, so I will use the big numbers such as 100 to 250. Make it in the center origin of my scene. Hit G to disable grids. Okay, I make this a bit smaller. Okay, 100 millimeter to 2480 millimeter. For the segments, for the length, I just need 2, but for the width, I need to make it square faces, so I need more, such as 50. As you can see, the shape will be square. 45, I'm using 45 segments. So convert it to editable poly. Select edges, all the edges. Then using border to deselect the border edges, because I just need the inner edges. Without doing anything else, and while these edges are selected, I will select all the polygons. Then I will come in the tessellate, which is in the edit geometry. Click on the setting, and here make sure you are using face. So I will have the triangular faces, and hit OK. Now if I back to the edges, you will find those edges which we in the previous steps select them. They are still selected, so I can push the backspace button on my keyboard and remove them. If I didn't select them before, so it was difficult to select them now. Now again back to the faces. While all the faces are selected, I will go and using the inset. When I want to use inset, actually I must use the by polygon, so each polygon is getting inset. So I will use the value of the 8 or 7. Okay, I'm using the 7. Okay, now I need to use the extrude to push them inside, so I will use the -10 to let them go inside. While these faces in the inside are selected, hold on the control and click on the edges, so the edges will be selected, edges inside, and I will grow until they come 2 times. I grow them until they come to the outside, to the face of the mirror. This is actually the border of the mirror, panel of the mirror. So now I need to use the chamfer. Chamfer 1, I hit the OK and back here and use the turbo smooth to see the result. Okay, as you can see, the edges are also very hard. It is up to you if you want your edges, the edges of your actually object be hard or not. But I want to make it quite smoother, so I hit the Ctrl Z again back here and chamfer. I will choose the 1.5. Sorry, it should be here 1.5. I was changing the segments. 1.5 to make it the distance be more, so it will be smoother. As I says, up to you, because it depends actually what you want to create. So I choose 1.5, or even can choose 2. Okay, for me this is okay. So I will move to the next step. I will add the bend modifier to bend my model. So I will use the X, and I won't bend it inward, but seems from this side cannot. So it should be actually the X, bending X axis, and it doesn't let me to bend, to curve actually my shape. So I will use the gizmo, rotate it 90 degree, and scale it. You can see the result. This is what I want. I want bent like this. Maybe 45 could be good. Then I will check with turbo smooth also. Okay, it looks good. I will again apply the bend, again axis, and 360, but another direction to make the panel of the mirror. So now you can see clearly. If you want to bend another one, the first bend, you can increase it, for example, to 55. So we actually create our the first part of this mirror panel. uh, After this pen, second pen, I will again apply the edit poly, because I need to join these two sides of the mirror. So I close to them, to each one. Just these two faces are extra. Select them, weld them. I choose them, and one by one actually I am welding, because it's not so many faces, so many uh, vertices that I need to weld, and also they are so close to each other, so it's little difficult to join them, because probably they will weld incorrectly. So these faces are extra. When we apply the chamfer to the uh, our edges, those created. Okay, and this last one. So this is Now I need to select the border. I need to select this border, and once I need to create the shape, linear or smooth is same. Hit OK, and again while this border is selected, I hold down the shift and click and drag to create some extra part. Okay, I need to use that shape that just now I selected, I created. This shape I isolate because it contains a lot of uh, vertex, so I prefer to use one normal circle, but I use this as a reference so I know what size I need to create, and I can put it exactly on the same area when I use the align. Okay, so I can remove another one. And what is the usage of this? I will enable it, enable on the viewport, and use the radial mode, and make it bigger. Okay, 12. Interpolation, I make sure that, well, now is circle. Maybe this I change to 15. Alright, just 12 is enough. And I need another for the outside, so Control V, copy. We have two already, two circle, so I increase its radius to let it go outside of the panel. Let's use the same material. Sorry, I didn't select this. And the final object for the panel is a small spheres around, so I create one sphere here, put it here, and smaller, just maybe 7. I will use the same circle again, Control V to copy, and I reduce its size because I won't come outside of the actually inner of the panel, and disable these parameters. So I select my sphere, go to the tools. You have learned this in the previous uh, tutorial, how to use the align spacing tools, and pick a path, increase it. Okay, I just wanted to know the position of this, so it is in the middle, so I can make it almost on the middle of our work. So now the sphere is selected, and again tools, align spacing tools, pick path, and increase it. 100. Okay, more than 100. 120. Okay, 140 seems is good value. 145, and I'm using instance for copying. So now after applying, I may actually can reduce it to 18 because we really don't need so much uh, segments. And also I can use the hemisphere to half, chop and cut the another inside part which we cannot see it. Okay, to move them, I think okay, no need to move, actually they are in the right place. And lastly, we will use this line actually to convert it to editable poly. This is our mirror shape. I don't need this, I can hide it. So it is how we could create this decorative mirror.